Hey everyone, welcome to Story Room. If you're new, you're part of the family. We bring you stories of drama and mystery, with moments you won't see coming, so make sure you subscribe right now, because today's story starts now.
Today's story is about the death of Princess Diana, a woman loved by millions whose life came to a tragic end on one night in Paris. But what exactly happened that night? Let's get into the story.
The night Princess Diana died. Today's story is about the night the world stopped. It was August 31, 1997. Millions of people were asleep, completely unaware that before the sun came up, one of the most famous women on Earth would be gone. Her name was Princess Diana. She was loved around the world. But that night in Paris, Diana wasn't surrounded by royal guards or standing in front of thousands of people. She was inside a Mercedes. And within minutes, everything would change. The night begins. Earlier that evening, Diana had been staying at the Ritz Hotel in Paris. She was traveling with her companion, Dodi Fade, and they eventually decided to leave the hotel. But there was a problem. Paparazzi photographers were following them. Diana was one of the most photographed people in the world, and photographers were desperate to get pictures of her. So the Mercedes carrying Diana and Dodi left the Ritz and entered the streets of Paris. The driver was Henry Paul. Behind them came photographers on motorcycles, trying to keep up. Nobody inside that car knew just how quickly the night was about to turn into a tragedy. The crash. The Mercedes entered the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. And then, everything happened in seconds. The car crashed into a pillar inside the tunnel. The impact was devastating. Dodi Fade died at the scene. Henry Paul also died. Diana was still alive. Emergency workers rushed to the wreckage and began trying to save her. But she had suffered severe injuries. The world still didn't know what had happened. And then the news began spreading.
This is breaking news. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program to bring you this urgent alert.
Princess Diana had been involved in a serious crash. People across the world turned on their televisions. They waited. They hoped. But hours later came the news nobody wanted to hear. Princess Diana had died. She was only 36 years old. The questions, but almost immediately, questions began appearing. Why had the car crashed? Why were paparazzi following it? How fast was the Mercedes traveling? And what exactly happened inside that tunnel? The investigation examined the circumstances surrounding the crash, including the driver's condition and the actions of the pursuing photographers. Henry Paul had been driving the Mercedes, and investigators found that his blood alcohol level was well above the French legal limit. The investigation also concluded that the Mercedes was traveling at a very high speed. But for many people, that wasn't enough. Rumors and conspiracy theories began spreading. Some claimed Diana's death had been deliberately planned. Others believed there had been a larger conspiracy behind the crash. Those claims became part of the public conversation for years. But it is important to separate theories from established evidence. The official investigations did not establish that Diana was assassinated. The verdict 3:24:20 p.m. Years later, the British inquest examined the deaths of Diana and Dodi. The jury concluded that their deaths were the result of the grossly negligent driving of Henry Paul and the pursuing paparazzi. The case had been investigated from multiple angles, but the mystery surrounding Diana's death never completely disappeared from public imagination. Because this wasn't just the death of a celebrity. It was the death of a woman watched by millions. A princess who had become one of the most recognizable people on Earth. And on that night in Paris, the cameras that had followed her everywhere suddenly became part of one of the most famous tragedies in modern history. When the news finally reached the world, people didn't believe it. Flowers began appearing outside Buckingham Palace. Millions mourned, and Diana's funeral became one of the most watched events in television history. But perhaps the strangest part of the story is this. For decades, people have continued asking the same question. What really happened inside that tunnel? The investigations gave their answers. The courts gave their verdict. But the night Princess Diana died remains one of the most unforgettable stories in modern history. And that is the story of the night the world lost Princess Diana.